So before you go out and spend hundreds of dollars on a pair of Sony, Bose, or Apple noise canceling headphones, you gotta ask yourself, are you sure you've checked out all the other options? Are you really, really sure you've checked out all the other options? Well, I'll bet you haven't actually checked out the Shure AONIC 50 Gen 2. Who wrote this? So I'm excited to see whether or not the Shure AONIC 50 Gen 2 actually builds off the success of the AONIC 50, what made it so good, and see what updates they've made to the design. Presented upside down, I think it was supposed to be, there we go. They got the headphones right there, and then inside the box as well, we've also got my favorite tasty treat. I'll eat that later. 2.5 to 3.5 millimeter jack for wired listening, always a plus. A USB-C to A cable, you know, your bog standard there. At first glance, the build quality looks quite nice. I like the leather headband that they've got going on here. The cushion feels pretty solid. The feeling of the ear pads themselves also feel like they have a nice amount of give and that they'll feel comfortable on the head. Oh, and I also really like that these have a folding design. However, I wish that they kind of took a page from Bose's book and had the ear cups articulate as well, so that you can make them really compact. On the right, we've got a couple of controls here. You got your standard playback controls, Bluetooth / power button, USB-C port, and a hardware switch. And I believe the hardware switch is actually to toggle between transparency mode, active noise canceling, and noise canceling on or off. And then on the other side, you've got the 2.5 millimeter headphone jack for wired listening. So that's pretty neat, it's pretty simple. Let's just put them on. Putting them on, the headphones feel just right. I wouldn't say that they're as spacious or as comfortable as the Sony XM5 headphones, and I feel like people with bigger heads than I might struggle a bit with the size of the ear cups, but I'd say it feels fine. There is a bit of a noticeable clamping force compared to headphones from Bose, so I feel like after a long period of time I could start to feel it kind of around here, just squeezing into my head, but it's not bad. It's not the same experience I had with the Beats Studio Pro, which, by the way, you should check out our 5-minute review on that. So some of the features that some of the features that Shure is trying to hype up with these headphones include something called enhanced environment mode. So wait, that's just the ANC toggle switch. Good old marketing, blah, blah, blah. It's also got a longer battery life, and Shure is claiming up to 45 hours of battery with quick charging, and quick charging will give you 5 hours of playback with just 15 minutes of charging. They're also claiming cutting-edge Bluetooth 5 wireless technology. But let me ask you this, is it really cutting edge if it's not the latest in the game? I mean, we are at a time where this supports Bluetooth 5.3, which has the LC3 codec, lower latency, longer range, etc. So I wouldn't say cutting edge, but I mean, we'll put it to the test later when we listen to some music on this bad boy. Which reminds me, the Shure AONIC 50 Gen 2 follows in the footsteps of the original with its support for high quality codecs, including LDAC and Snapdragon Sound with aptX Adaptive. Okay, enough talking about the specs, let's actually give this a listen. So I'm gonna be listening to these headphones using a Zenfone 10, streaming wirelessly through Tidal Hi-Fi Plus. What am I gonna sing? No, I can't let go. It's chemical. Okay, how do we turn this off? Okay. So when I'm listening to a song like Chemical by Post Malone, the kind of pads or the synth pads get lost in the mix. At least with the out-of-the-box response from these headphones, I feel like you're not getting a very full sound, or I just feel like there is something missing from mid-frequencies. And when I was even listening to piano music, like the score for the movie Close, I felt that notes somewhere in middle C, like C3, C4, didn't come through as clearly on these headphones as they do with my daily driver Bose QC35-2s. So a little bit odd, but I wouldn't say that this puts these headphones out of the running for most people, because there is a solution to this, and that is the fact that you can EQ the headphones to your taste using the, what do they call it? The ShurePlus Play App. So in the app, you can control how much of your environment you can hear when you toggle environment mode on. You can control USB audio mode, because the USB-C does allow you to enable high-res listening. You can customize the function of the slider, so you can actually have it go through different ANC modes, or you can have the slider toggle between Equalizer presets or Spatializer presets. So that's actually pretty neat. And then of course you've got a bunch of presets courtesy of Shure for your equalizer, or you can create a custom preset, which, oh wow, with the Shure Equalizer, you can really go into detail with how you're EQing your headphones. It's kind of treated like an EQ you'd find in a DAW. So you can customize not only the frequency and the gain, but also the Q band and really shape the EQ to the best way that fits your listening preferences. So still in the vein of sound quality, one of the features that Shure is touting with the AONIC 50 Gen 2 is its Spatializer feature. It's kind of Shure's play on Apple spatial audio, but instead of just giving you a virtual surround sound experience, Spatializer offers you presets that aim to mimic certain environments. Now, I tried all three modes, and I'm gonna say I wasn't really impressed with any of the Spatializer functions. When I was listening to music on music mode, I just felt that mid-frequency noises like pianos and synth pads sounded even quieter than with the Spatializer turned off. The cinema mode made it feel as if I was watching a movie from the back of a older theater, so acoustics not that great. And then the podcast mode didn't really do much in terms of making it feel as if the podcast was right in front of me. I just felt like unwanted frequencies, like in the 3 to 4 kilohertz range, like the ringing in your ears, those just ended up being emphasized with podcast mode. Again, I just don't think any of these three presets add to the experience. And I wouldn't say that Spatializer, at least from my initial impressions, would be a reason to go out and get these headphones above a Sony or Bose pair of cans. That does it for app and sound quality. Let's test out the microphone because they are promoting crystal clear communication. Okay, so this is me speaking into the Shure AONIC 50 Gen 2. They claim to have really good microphone quality, but come on, most, if not all companies claim to have really good microphone quality on their headphones. So let this be the judge of that. Let me know what you think about the microphone quality of these headphones in the comments down below. That's pretty good. These sound pretty good for a pair of headphone microphones. Guess that wasn't just marketing hype. At least to my ears, the microphone sounds pretty good. It's gonna be really good to use during a Zoom call, phone call, or just any call for that matter. So the Shure AONIC 50 Gen 2 is gonna be available for $349 US, which I think puts it in the ballpark of the Bose Quiet Comfort 45, and still below the Sony WH-1000XM5. These are solid, and they belong in its price tag, I think is a good way to put it. For $350, these are a solid choice for a premium pair of noise-canceling headphones. Of course, we are still going to be putting these headphones through our full suite of objective tests, and we will be publishing a full review on SoundGuys.com. So make sure to check our website for that and for all the latest and greatest in audio. But you know what's not going to be a good investment for $350? The Beats Studio Pro. And if you want to know why, make sure to check out our 5-minute review right here. Actually, that's my left. So your right, my left here.